I'm so delighted to welcome you all to media briefing ahead of the forthcoming 51st Annual General Meeting of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, scheduled to be held from October 17 to 19, 2023 at the Lagos Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. As our strategic partner, the association is grateful for your unwavering support in championing our advocacy drive, which is meant to improve the well-being of the manufacturing sector and by extension of our economy at large. It is no doubt that the media is a veritable channel of sensitization, enlightenment, and dissemination of information on vital issues to the public domain. I will thank you for bringing your professional touch to bear on our activities, especially usage of our various press releases from time to time. As we prepare to engage our relevant stakeholders at the event in the coming week, it will interest you to know that the theme for the 51st Annual General Meeting is setting the agenda for competitive manufacturing under African Continental Free Trade Agreement after what Nigeria needs to do. This is born out of the need for the nation to strategize on how manufacturing can be well positioned suitably, thereby be very competitive in view of the impending full commencement of trading under AFTA. Currently, the cost of manufacturing is daily rising owing to scarce and unavailable manufacturing inputs that continue to strain the sector's profitability and threaten the existence of this critical sector of the economy. More worrisome is the fact that the sector that should provide job creation, productivity, and economic growth is emerged with a series of challenges that constantly limit its contribution to the gross domestic product, GDP. It is pertinent to reiterate here again that such challenges as epileptic power supply, insecurity, decaying infrastructure, shortage of forex, and naira depreciation are prevailing issues that are impacting negatively on the sector. If manufacturers will compete fairly, then a comprehensive and concerted efforts need to be deployed by the government to attract foreign investment that will bring about forex flow that the country clearly requires. With the new administration steering the seat of governance, it is pertinent that all hands must be on deck to achieve the vibrant economy that can compete favorably. To start with, the government needs to prioritize investment in infrastructure and power, combat insecurity and corruption, as well as introduce incentive policies that will make manufacturing more attractive compared to the importation of finished products. The AFTA window should be maximized in such a way that products manufactured in Nigeria locally should be the preferred in items of quality and pricing, until we address the binding constraints that make the local products uncompetitive. The benefit of continental market might end up being a mirage for the largest economy in Africa. But regardless of the shortcomings, we remain resilient, the manufacturers. We are vocal and strategic with our advocacy approach, and we will continue to do this until every manufacturer in Nigeria enjoys practical ease in doing business and an opportunity to favorably compete with counterparts in other countries, particularly within the continent. Our commitment in addressing the challenges from where they should.
My president has given quite lucid responses to the questions. It is only to reinforce what he has said, because MAN is an advocacy group, and what we do is to strive to influence government, such that the decisions that government takes are manufacturing friendly and will lead to our economic growth. When a friend in the media was asking why our results looked better than the general perception. So one was said that first, you need to recognize that MAN is a factual organization. We do not play politics, we are not politicians, and we do not make comments on sentiments. We have facts, we have figures. My colleague from the Economic Policy and Research Division is here. Even the Bureau of Statistics respects our figures because they are first-hand, we get it from economic operators. So anything we give you is real. However, in interpreting it like the president said, you need to be situational about it. You need to create the context for appreciating what we have done. In most cases, you will see that the Naira has been devalued. So when we give figures in Naira terms, when you relate it, you will see that no progress has been made. And there are some cases, for instance, in terms of assessing the employment figures, in terms of assessing how much we've been able to produce, in terms of assessing how much we have stocked in our warehouses. Yes, we have been able to produce, and the PMI will continue to give you figures that you report. When you drill down, you will see that our warehouses are full. So those products that we've been able to churn out have not been sold. If you relate it to the unplanned inventory, which you covered eloquently, and we thank you for it, you will see that in real terms, no progress has been made. And I think we push out these figures for government to be able to inform government policy. We are not, I always tell people, we are not public analysts. No, we are an advocacy group. So our data is meant to inform government action. It's not to please anybody or to, the World Bank today was saying that they have revised downwards our growth rate. And personally, I was chatting, and my friend called me. I now just told him, I don't think this is for the press. I said, who the hell told the World Bank what we can do and what we cannot do? If I was Mr. President, I will make sure that I beat their forecast and that Nigeria grows by 5% next year. It's possible. If you talk to us, we know what to do to grow manufacturing contribution to GDP. We know how to double it. If you address those challenges, so those predictions will come to nothing. So it is to inform government action. If our government will be challenged by this revised rate, and I will make a nonsense of it by taking steps that are needed to reverse the trend. They can only, if you want to know how the economy should go, talk to those who operate in it. MAN has 2,500 members. If we ensure that the binding constraints that limits their performance now is improved upon, all the predictions from the World Bank and so on will be made nonsense by next year. So I believe that information we gear information towards influencing government policies. And the issue about the Northeast, we put in the press that 60% of our members closed in the last 6 years. The figures are there. We can give you the addresses of those companies that you can cross-check. So insecurity, like the president said, is a major challenge. It disrupts our logistics and supply chains. Even when we finish producing, to get them to far north becomes a challenge. You also know that the border was closed for some time, which didn't allow cross-border trade. So these are challenges that have confronted our operation in the Northeast, like you asked. And whether government will take our advice or not, we are partners with government. We can't even afford not to get government to listen to us. If things are this bad and we have organizations like MAN, can you think through on what would have happened if we didn't have a MAN? Those of you who operate in the food and beverage subsector, you will have known what would have happened to this economy if the
Audio Jungle.